What's going on, my good people? My buena gente, ¿cómo estamos? How we doing? This is another episode of Just Ask One Live. We're here today. We're going to be talking about the future of boxing and Abdullah Mason. Uh, Before I get started, everybody, please like, follow, subscribe. All I need is a like, nothing else, and a subscription. That's all that is, man. I don't do memberships. I ain't doing no memberships. I ain't doing none of that. I just want to be able to, enjoy content, put out good content with you guys, have good conversation with the people, and just have good time doing this. Um, so obviously Abdullah Mason is fighting next week, and as many people know, Joe Cardina has fallen out of contention or the competition. I don't know why. I believe it's visa issues. Um, but as of right now, Joe Cardina is out of the matchup, and they are putting in Albert Bell. For so many people that don't know Albert Bell is a very long time 130, but he competes now at 135. He can compete at both weights, but he is one of those sneaky, really, really good competitors that really it's hard to match up because he was with Top Rank. Top Rank had him for I think a couple years. It was just hard to get him fights because again he's long, he's rangy for the range for the weight class, and he's very very skilled. Uh, this is actually kind of really good because they're both from Ohio. I don't know if they're both from Cleveland, but I know they're both from Ohio, so that's a good how you say it good thing to see these guys going at it. These guys are both very, very talented fighters. These guys have both excellent rangy skills and real rivalry power. So this one's a good one to not miss on next Saturday. But the real thing that we're here to talk about is Abdullah Mason. Is he the future? Is he going to be the face of boxing? If you ask me, yeah, I definitely think that Abdullah Mason is gonna be the future of boxing. I think Abdullah Mason is one of those kids that a couple years from now we're gonna sit there and say, oh man, he is one of those dudes that are very, very talented, such a very good fighter. And he's cut from the cloth that man, this ain't no brother thing, man. This is a competition. This is how what we do here. Um, this is how we do it. What's going on, Tony? How you doing, man? This is how we doing it here, man. And I like the way that he thinks because these guys nowadays in boxing, they're all trying to be friends. They're all trying to be, buddy buddy with each other. Man, fucking bump that, man. That shit is trash, man. Fight each other. At this point, man, we can be friends, but let's show each other why we are the best of this generation. And I know that Abdullah Mason is one of those kids that he's just trying to show that he is the best in the world eventually. Um, do I think he's gonna be at 135 very much longer? No, I don't think so. I think the kid is gonna be growing because I think he's 22, 23 at the least. I know the man weight is gonna be coming in on soon, so he'll be there eventually. I think as a very very good contender at 140, even a potential 140-pound champion. Right now he is I believe the WBO um champion, and he's looking to defend it next week against Albert Bell. That's one challenge that I would love to see. This is something I really like. That two under. Well, I don't think undefeated. I think Albert got one loss. Maybe I'm not entirely sure. I got to look it up. But I know that Albert Bell is he's a competitor that's coming to fight. He's not coming to lay down. This guy, I've been watching him for a very, very long time. He has the skills, he has the power to upset the young Abdullah Mason. I just think Abdullah's gonna have his way with him. I think Abdullah's at right now on a high. He's learned from the Sam Noakes fight to never really underestimate your opponent. He is one of those guys that every single time I see him, he keeps getting better and better and better. This guy he's being one of those kids that are just very very talented, man. It's very very like wherewithal, like just has the wherewithal to listen to his corner, to listen to the advice of anybody that comes out through through the through the grapevine to give him advice. He listens to these guys. This guy is very very humble. He's one of those fighters that I know that 10, 20 years from now, we're going to be talking as one of the greats. I definitely going to say you that right now. I think he's definitely going to be one of those great fighters that we are all going to be talking about eventually for a very, very long time. Um, I think the guy, he has all the talent and the speed and the power in the world, man. But I think the mentality is what really made me a fan of the young Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason has everything. Um, Everything that goes with his popping power. I think he has all the skills, obviously, but the mentality of fuck that. We gonna make this into a fight. I'm not here to make no brothers. None of y'all my brothers. I have three other brothers, and those are my brothers, man. I don't come in here to make friends. I'm here to take names, man. So that's one thing I definitely love about a young Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason is definitely the future of boxing. I definitely am a fan of it. Um, the card in general, man. That card in general is stacked, man. That card is stacked. We got Tiger Johnson on that card. Um, we have Mr. Bruce Carrington, Bruce Shushu Carrington. I'm a big fan of Shushu. Shushu has some of the best talent I've seen in a very, very long time. I went to watch him when he fought in New York. Not this prior time, but the time before he got the title. I went to go see him fight, man, and watching him fight, people say, yeah, he put on a boring performance and that he was supposed to get dude out of there. Dude was ranked number, I believe, 4 or 10, between 4 and 10 in the world for a reason, man. That guy he came to fight. He ain't come to lay down, and that's the type of opponent you want to put your young stars in forever. You know what I'm saying? I know that people are gonna be like, oh, he looked like a scrub because he ain't get dude out of there. You're not gonna get everybody out of there. I don't think you're gonna get everybody out of there. You're not gonna get everybody uh, scared of you because you have a crazy knockout record or like certain dudes. They're gonna come and fight you. They're gonna come and push you back. They're gonna come and punch you in your fucking face because they like to. You know what I'm saying? These guys are dangerous, man. These guys are super dangerous, especially the ones that you don't know about, but then they have a really, really good record, and you see the guys they fight, and the guys that they fight have some sort of type of name, and they upset those guys, and then you have dudes that just are very, very talented, man. You know what I'm saying? There was a point in time that Winky Wright was very well unknown. You know what I'm saying? And he got the chance against Fernandez Vargas. What you talking about? We talking about Abdullah Mason, man. If you don't watch boxing, man, I suggest you going on the next page, man. Um, we definitely have a good card coming up next weekend. Obviously, this weekend we have the Xander Zayas, Jerome Booth Ennis fight. Definitely have those fights going on. We definitely need, we definitely on a high right now with boxing. Boxing is definitely on its up and up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely is having a bit of a very, very good resurgence lately. And I think Abdullah Mason is definitely going to be the man that, the face of boxing in a couple years, man, because he's one of those kids that are just not going to take no for an answer, man. He's definitely not going to take no for an answer. He's definitely one of those fighters that hey man, he gonna come and he gonna kick ass and take names. That's what he is, man. That's what the monster he is, man. I mean, you guys don't watch. A lot of people don't watch boxing. They like watching the UFC thing. I like watching the UFC thing too. But I'm a big fan of boxing. I've always been a big fan of boxing. That's always been my favorite sport. As far as you know, one-on-one goes, this is my favorite sport. We're gonna definitely enjoy these next coming weeks of fights, man. I'm very excited for Abdullah Mason. I know that my man BVO, he gonna be in there. I said I was gonna go, but some things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna go to the Xander Zayas fight. I know that I've been saying that, but I'm definitely going this week. This week is definitely exciting. But I'm just going as a fan. I'm not going as media and nothing like that. That's definitely not my ideal thing to do this week. Um, Abdullah Mason, man, he's definitely the next step monster, man. That's what it is, man. And for people that they like the just Shakur Stevensons, the Keyshawn Davis, the David Haney's, man. If you guys like avoiding things, man, we like to avoid. They like to avoid the things, man. Even the Tank Davis fans is definitely um avoidance. They like avoiding people. They like, they don't like to fight each other, man. These guys want to be brothers and arms and stuff like that. It's real weird. Just real weird activity. These guys all have really, really just disappointed me, man, because these guys, I've literally seen them all in person as amateurs. These guys literally are all talented fighters, and these guys are just scared to lose for some weird reason, man. That scared to lose thing, I don't know where that came from. That didn't come from Mayweather, because I know for damn sure that didn't come from him, because he fought everybody before even the last 10 fights. When you go back and look at the fighters he fought prior to Oscar De La Hoya, man, those are it's a murderous row of dudes, bro, and people just gonna sit there and shit on him, not knowing what the fuck they talking about. They be just sitting there just talking at that point. You know what I'm saying? These guys are all real real non fans of anybody in the sport, and definitely in the sport, it's nasty work, man. It's nasty work in the sport. You know what I'm saying? These guys avoid each other. They talk about each other on Twitter. These guys sit there and have rants on the internet. They talk to all these media outlets and then say they're gonna fight one opponent, but then go fight the next. It's just weird, real weird activity, man. And I don't like the way that these guys be moving. All these guys be moving really fucking like scary, man. That's what it is, man. And honestly, people that sit there and shit on like Floyd, bro, understandable. Like Floyd had his moments that, like, you be like, why are you fighting? But Floyd got the chance to do that because he fought everybody fucking else. So at that point, like, you sit there and you guys sit there and be like, oh well, Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying, didn't fight nobody or he ran, bro. Y'all didn't watch this guy, man. Y'all started watching him literally when he fought Oscar, and then watched his literally last 10 fights. Like after the 10 fights, it made no sense for you guys to watch him, because at that point you guys sat there and watched him because y'all wanted just to see him lose. You didn't see the work he put in at 126, at 130, at 135, at 140. You didn't see the legwork. Y'all saw 147. That's what y'all seen. Y'all seen the 147 and the two bouts at 154. Literally, well, the three bouts at 154 that y'all seen. Y'all seen that. Y'all literally seen that part of his career. Then y'all go back and be like, oh, Castillo was losing the fight prior to even him hurting his hand. Go back and watch the first like 8 rounds of the fight, of the first fight. You was getting swept, bro. There was no way y'all sitting there in any imaginary thing. And even if you had some type of round for him, he was getting swept, maybe 6-2 already as it was. And then he lost the ninth and lost the 10th. That's how he lost. He was already down way too much to be even thinking about a comeback. So whoever has a definition of, yo, these guys, oh, I watched Floyd and Floyd he was a runner, bro. You guys are just sitting there saying that because you watched the last 10 fights of his career. Y'all watched the last 10 fights talking about he's scared this and that. He needed to fight. He was calling out Oscars at 130. He was calling when he at 1, and them dudes didn't want to fight him. Then when he got rich and famous and became the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world, then they wanted to fight him, and then he whooped their ass. Just so happened they was older. They was already older. That's on them. That's not on him. That's what y'all did. Y'all wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? He was calling out the Prince Naseems. He was calling out the Casasus. He was calling out the Freitas. He was calling out all these dudes. These guys were all avoiding him at a certain point in time. You know what I'm saying? So for dudes that sit there and say, yo, Floyd Mayweather duck and avoid anybody, bro, like, stop. Stop watching boxing. Watch tennis. Go watch rugby. Go watch something else besides the sport, bro, because the sport is definitely not for you. You know what I'm saying? But back to the topic of hand, Abdullah Mason is definitely, the future of boxing. I think him and Emiliano Vargas are definitely going to be having some type of super fight. I think eventually either at 147 or at 140. Whoever gets there first, or whatever the case may be. I know that Emiliano is at 140 already, but he's a smaller 140 right now, not like the biggest 140 in the world. And he's He's a very good, talented fighter. I don't think he's the same level as Abdullah, but Abdullah definitely beats him too. I think Abdullah's gonna be the face of boxing, man. These guys talk about being the face of boxing, but they're not proving it. They're not trying to fight each other. They're not trying to how you say it, challenge themselves into being great. They just want to put in a little bit of work, think that they're the best, and then what? Then what else? What you gonna do? What else you gonna do, man? You're not gonna fight your contemporaries at that point. You gonna fight what? You know, super bums or really good fighters that weren't really on your level, but you're just gonna sit there and be like, okay, I'm just gonna fight these guys. Not gonna fight the best of the division, but I'm gonna fight these guys. These guys move weird, man. These guys definitely move weird in this division, in this world, man, in this sport now. These guys definitely move weird. Um, Abdullah Mason is definitely up next. I think he's the best, fighter in the division right now. I think even with Raymond Morataya at the weight class, even with Ket Austin at the weight class, shit, even with Tank at the weight class, I definitely still think he's the best fighter in the division. Um, I think it's him. I think it's Raymond. I think it's Tank. I think it's Floyd. That's it. There's no more. I think Ket Austin is right there with them. I definitely think now that officially Shakur Stevenson is not no more, or I don't think he's a champion. I heard that the WB was stripping him, or the case the WB is stripping him. Who you gonna fight? You know what I'm saying? Raymond already said that he gonna fight you at 140. You declined that. That's not your thing. Um, Kid Austin, they try to make the fight. Well, you try to make the fight with him, and they found their excuse just to avoid the fight. Um, Again, that's on them. That's not on you. I'm not gonna sit here and chonk you out for that. But hey, man, you definitely been avoiding Floyd, Dev, Lil Dev, and Dev even too. His pop just talk too much for him, man. You just shut up and make the fights, man. That's all we need to see is shut up and make the fights. Um, these guys are definitely, gonna be chop and block for Abdullah. I think Abdullah eventually beats them all, except maybe I don't think he fights Shakur. I don't know why. Something's telling me he probably doesn't fight Shakur. And I don't even think he fights Devin either, because Devin probably on the older side. Dev gonna do everything kind of avoid him. I think Abdullah is definitely one of those dudes that, I'm saying, we're gonna sit there and watch, man. We're gonna be like, man, this kid is special. Um, how's how's everything going? Hold on, y'all. Ah, man, I hate this shit. My fault. Yeah, not my fault. Um, yeah, man, Abdullah Mason is definitely the next up and up becoming fighter of the 2020s up until the 2030s. I think this guy's gonna have a long career. I think he's gonna definitely be the guy to beat in the upcoming fights. These guys are gonna be uh, trying everything to avoid him. But hey, man, the boogeyman's coming. He's coming through. He's coming to knock dudes off. He's coming to knock dudes out. I can't wait to see this guy put hands and feet on whoever is next. You know what I'm saying? I know that Albert Bell, he's a good competitor, but I don't think he beating Mr. Young Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason's gonna walk right through him. I think he'll come to him. He gonna walk him down. He gonna stop him. I think 8 9 rounds most maybe he got. Um, but these guys are definitely not it for them.